So a couple of weeks ago, my girlfriend and I decided to let her brother come stay with us to help him get his life on track. The guy seemed to really want to change his life for the better. Previously, he'd been a drug user, but as years sober, he sometimes would drink a bit too much. I used to as well, so I didn't hold it against him, and he had some anger issues. We both figured a move to a new city with two people that genuinely care about his well-being would be good for him. We figured it would help him not be so angry at everything, so he could learn to control his anger by not turning to alcohol. The first few days went great. He and I seemed to bond pretty well. We helped him get a new phone, which I paid for since I'm the only one working because of the virus. I gave him some recommendations for a job which would be good for him should he have gotten it. We even went to the store and bought about $230 in groceries, so we all Gould have stuff to eat that doesn't require thawing and cooking me. That's where the problems started. I make enough to support my girlfriend and I while she's out of a job because of the situation most of us are in. Adding him to the mix would mean a slight increase in bills and spending a bit more on groceries, which I was perfectly fine with. A few days ago, we noticed that after having all the groceries we bought disappearing at an alarming rate, we talked to him and politely asked him if he could slow down on eating the food since we don't have an unlimited amount of money, which he agreed to. I know both my girlfriend and I haven't been eating that much since we both are trying to lose some weight. Then I noticed that he was drinking alcohol behind our backs, which was going against the rule we had for him about drinking. He was only allowed to drink when we both drink because he's an alcoholic. 2 days ago was when it hit rock bottom. He continued to eat everything and drink alcohol, so we moved the alcohol to our room. I came home from work and he was doing the usual of playing some PS4 and getting pissed when he died in Call of Duty. Eventually he got mad enough, he turned it off and went to make food. He stared right at a can of chili and was pissed that we made chili dogs and fries without him last night, but he went for a jog and I didn't want to put it in the fridge since reheated fries are pretty bad. He stormed out the house and went for a walk. We both decided that we would have a talk with him as adults when he gets back about his attitude and lying to the people that have been nothing but nice to the guy since day one. I told him if he was going to continue eating everything, drinking behind our backs, and getting pissed at us if we wanted to have the dinner to ourselves, he can get his stuff together and leave. He goes in a rage and starts screaming and shoving my girlfriend. At that point, I stopped focusing on what he was saying because nobody lays a finger on my girl and gets away with it. He snaps his headphones in half, walks upstairs to his room, dumps a litter box on the floor, smashes his guitar we bought him for Christmas, punches a television. Then he proceeds to grab some cat shit and wipe it on her face. He has the nerve to try to push us out of the way to wash his hands. I push him up against the wall and say something along the lines of, if you lay another finger on her, I will not hesitate to make you crawl out of this house. My girlfriend tells me to call the cops, so I decide it would probably be best for me to do it on the balcony so he can't see me and start breaking more stuff. I get off the phone with the cops and she's standing outside saying he choked her out and headbutted her face just before she was about to pass out from asphyxiation. I see him walking down the street and I see her with a bloody mouth and in pain. So I decided to help her rather than get him. The police arrive and take our statements. She didn't even finish her statement before she feels dizzy and sits in the middle of the street and starts throwing up. After a lengthy hospital stay, we found out she has a concussion and a lip contusion that has left her sounding like a child learning to speak. I feel guilty, like I should not have gone downstairs. I could have stopped him from doing that to her. The whole thing has left her afraid to sleep in our room. TL Drive, my girlfriend and I let her psycho brother stay with us, which resulted in a warrant for him, a concussion for her, and a manhunt for me.